Okay, so I want to walk you guys through, and for people who are watching the recording, I just want to walk everybody through everything that we offer. I know that when you first come in, it's like a lot to digest. If you are not, I know that like I got invited to my daughter's competitive cheer app. And I was like, what is happening here? There's so much going on in this app. So I'm new here and I don't know what's happening. So I just wanted to walk everybody through it, give you just some pointers on how to make the most of it. Most of you should have gotten an email last night or today that's kind of like our blueprint for how we do things and how you can have success here. But the first thing I want to do is kind of just quickly go over the two different levels of membership, because that's always a question. If you joined at the connector level, you get access to our app. You can come to our social events, which are like our coffee dates and all those things. The app is really like where most of the connective stuff happens. And so it's a great place to be. It's totally, worth sticking around and getting involved in the community. And then our momentum level is where things like all of our morning calls are happening. We do trainings, we do group mentorship, we do workshops. We are hosting for the first time ever next week. I'm hosting a mastermind for people who applied. It was an application process. If you're unfamiliar, a mastermind is typically like a $1,200 situation for the day. And so it's free and included. I don't know that I'll do it that way in the future, but this was like a fun way to kind of cap off a year for some of these women who have been really active and involved this year. So these are all opportunities that come up. We do just a lot of different awesome stuff is happening. And so I just want to quickly recap. If you are watching and you joined at the connector level and you're like, wait, I want to be on those calls, I want to be in the workshops, then all you have to do is send me a DM and upgrade your membership. And I always kind of say that like our connector membership is really the gateway drug. Most people get in, they're like, wait, hold on. I want that stuff. So it's not even like a, sorry, it's not even like a,
like real current
sales tactic there. It's just genuinely like, I love what we're doing in there and I get excited to share. So, okay, let me walk you guys through the Heylo app and just kind of like the expectation of how we use it. Let me share the right screen here. Okay. So inside of the app, if you're looking on your phone, it's going to look a little bit different, but there's a couple different tabs. We have our chats, events, there's activity, which is kind of just like whatever. You can see members, and then there's a group tab. So to kind of dive into the chats and how we use it, my first recommendation is to only join the chats that kind of pertain to you and how you really want to show up inside of the membership. So our collaboratory is where a lot of just collaborative conversation happens, where people are asking business questions. It's a place to come to talk anything that's kind of like truly growth oriented, problem solving, things like that. We have people just kind of chat in the lounge. That's a fun space. You can be in these chats and also have your notifications turned off. So if you're a person that's like, I can't with notifications, you can absolutely turn those off. I'm in a lot of these chats with the no notifications on. When you open the app, you'll still see that there's stuff happening, but you don't have to join all of the chats. If you are a health and fitness person, joining that one. If you are a mom, there's lots of great mom conversations that happen. So there's just a lot going on in the chats, and I don't expect that everyone is going to be active in everything. We have some members, I said at our member dinner, more than 50% of our members are active weekly, and about like 40% of them are active daily. And that doesn't mean, you don't have to be the person that's in there daily, but if it's, a source of friendship and connection and all that stuff, it's a great place to be, just to talk and hang out. Most of us don't have a group of 80 friends that just kind of get it. So it's a nice place to come and talk. And you can also feel free to jump into those chats as you see fit, as your schedule allows, as you have the need. We have some people who go in and scroll, and I can tell that they're scrolling up weeks and responding to questions from weeks ago. So like, it's not that serious. It's whatever you make it to be. The people, I will say, and I say this in our kind of our blueprint email, is like the people who see the most networking potential here, who are making the most connections, are the people who are most active, and they're the people whose names get recognized. And you, obviously, we're all grown-ups. We know that. Like, if we see someone talking regularly, if someone is regularly showing up, if you're a parent and you're going to the school, like we all know the moms who are there all the time, right? So like, those are the people who are you're going to be top of mind. You don't have to use it that way. For events, you can see all of our events that are coming up. I do get questions often about the morning momentum call for new people. I typically add them kind of like the week before, the weekend of, just so that it's not overwhelming all the other stuff, because there is 3 per week, but it's always the same link. Like this week, we don't have one on Wednesday, and this is like the second time I've ever not done it since May. But inside of each event, there's a description. You can see not everybody RSVPs for these calls, but I highly recommend you do it beforehand and kind of hold yourself accountable. Inside, there's a description, who's coming. There's an event chat. Again, this button is at the bottom on the app, and you can see conversation that's happening for that specific day. And that's kind of how we use that. So if I scroll back to the other day, I gave a chat GPT prompt. And I'll put that inside of the chat for the day just to keep it organized so it's not clogging up and getting lost in all the other stuff that's happening. But we put all the events here. Some of the events will have like a certain amount of spaces, especially our in-person workshops. The goal is not to keep it like, oh, you can't come if you're not in. The goal is for you to hold yourself accountable. Like, I've taken a spot. If I don't show up, that's somebody else who doesn't get to come. So really, it's just about us holding ourselves accountable. But for the most part, I let people in. Just don't use that as an opportunity to like blow things off that you RSVP'd for, because sometimes we host them at places where we've paid for the space, or one of our members is hosting and they have gifts, things like that. So that's how the events work. RSVP, you can check in for an event. Like for this call right now, I can check you guys in, but you can check yourself in. I'm going to talk a little bit about our milestone system, but this is kind of like how you build up. You can see like you have your first event tag on there. So it's a great way to kind of, again, see your progression through what we're doing here. In the members tab, you can also see like people who have recent milestones, our new members, and then you can also find people in here. And what's really awesome about this is you can, let's see, who do I have in here? Like Alyssa just joined. You can go in, click on a person's name, and have a DM conversation with them. So you don't need to network with them. You don't need to go and email them, or you don't have to go on Instagram. Most people, if you have not done this, have an about me. They've got their Instagram here just to easily connect with people. And then you can also do group chats with people inside of the app as well. And that DM feature is up here on your computer. And then I think it's in a similar place on the app. But we do have this new hierarchy system that we just launched last week. And we've got 3 different levels, which is our blooming, our trailblazers, and our legacy. Just to like quickly run through them. Once you hit 10 events, and you do a member spotlight, which McKenna is my assistant, and she reaches out to people about that, about getting you in our newsletter, but we want to spotlight people's businesses. So it's just about getting your roots down, getting involved, and starting to be a part of what we're doing. Our Trailblazers have 25 or more events. They've referred a new member, and they're just being consistent in the community. And then our legacy circle are people who have been with us for 12 plus months, and they like have gone through all the other things. So the legacy circle people will have exclusive events. So things like our mastermind day, all of those things will be reserved for people that get inside of that legacy circle after, we're just hitting our first year now. So it's just something to work towards. And there will also be exclusive things for people who fit into that Trailblazer category. And then in the groups tab, this is where some fun stuff happens. We've got a bunch of exclusive member benefits. If you as a member would like to put an exclusive offer for our members in here, you can. It's not just members who are in here, but there's a lot of really good stuff. Like Known Aesthetics gives us $200 off filler. That's crazy, right? So lots of good stuff. We've got like Yoga 6 is in here. Just so many. Oh, Voss, shut up. They give us builder pricing on one major appliance, like big appliance. So good stuff in there. And then also down at the bottom, if you are a Momentum member, and I'm going to be talking about this a little bit more in the future. I don't talk about it a ton just because the people who have been in here for a long time are trained. You do get 15-minute one-on-one touch point calls with me. So if you need to like work through a launch, developing a new product, whatever it is, you come in with your questions, you click the link here and schedule it out. I typically ask that people use them once or twice a month. So far, no one has abused that right. So like I don't set a limit on it. You can update your billing info. And then we also have a folder with templates and tools here. Quickly for our Momentum members, we do have a chat in here that's specifically just for Momentum resources. So you can go in here, and when I post recordings of things, this is where it will be. And you also, like if you click the tab, there's also a link to the library there. It's just not, the link is not in the group tab because it's specific to people who are momentum level members. So that's a walkthrough of the app. Truly, I think the people who are really making the most out of it are the people who are showing up and utilizing it. Obviously, it's like a gym, right? Like you can pay for a gym membership and you can go once a month, maybe less, and nothing's gonna come of it. But if you actually put the time in, you will see the result. And it's the same thing here, just, like making friends, etc. If you ever feel like you would like a referral code, I create those manually. So you just shoot me a DM and I can get you one of those. And yeah, RSVP for things, go in and RSVP to things. I sent out that kind of blueprint for success where you're not annoying people by asking questions and going into the chat, asking business questions. It's one of those things where if you are sitting there going, I wish I knew how to do this, that's a stupid question. I shouldn't ask that. It's absolutely not a stupid question. Everybody and people will benefit from your questions and having other people answer them. So that's really important. And like, don't wait till you're overwhelmed with things. It exists. This exists so you don't have to do things alone. So if you're like, I just set up my email marketing and I have no idea how to do this, just pop in and ask. I want to learn how to, I'm trying to figure out like, why are my reels not getting any engagement? Ask, right? So it's really like, it's not meant to be just like this passive, dusty ass Facebook group. It's really not. It's becoming kind of like a living, breathing ecosystem. So, there's a shameless plugs chat where you can, if you have an offer, we just ask not more than once a week. We don't want it to be spammy. We're really like, I'm very big on like protecting the energy of the room. So it's fine if you need to come into a chat and vent about something, but fully anticipate that other people are going to be there to be like, hi, here's a solution, a potential solution. I'm here to listen to you vent, but also like, let's not just come in here and complain. Right. On the regular, obviously some days like the mom chat. Yes, we do regularly complain about mom things. Sometimes there's no solution other than just complaining. You need to get it out and that's cool. But in general, we really try to keep it productive and positive, growth oriented and a growth mindset. People, we encourage you to share wins and struggles. And again, just be open to feedback on things. And then if you're going to ask a question, just like, I put in the email, like try to ask it the right way, have a little bit of context behind the question, ask the actual question, where you're feeling stuck at in something, what you've already tried. Sometimes, we don't want to just come in and be like, hey, I have this thing and it's just totally vague and that makes it hard to help. So, yeah, I feel like what makes us different is that we really try to like meet people face to face, have actual business education. Those morning momentum calls are a variety of things from business education to mindset, identity work. We really dive into all those things. And you're likely not ever going to be the only person on that call. We had almost 20 people on the call the day before Thanksgiving, which is insane for a bunch of women, let's be honest. So like, there's a lot of stuff happening. And I just encourage you to, make the most out of it. Use it. It's there for a reason. Don't just let it sit and get dusty in your apps folder. Does anybody have questions for me that I can answer? There's no stupid questions, truly. If you're like, I don't know. Yeah, go ahead, Amanda. Hold on, I think you're muted. I don't think I can unmute you.
Okay, can you hear? Okay, so can you also help with resources on, like you said, starting email marketing? Because I started my business last year, so it's been a full year, but I don't know anything about email marketing. So that's something you guys can help with.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
So we talk about this stuff all the time. I just shared yesterday, like Flowdesk, which is what we use. It's just, they're getting rid of their legacy pricing. I think it technically ended yesterday, but like on the DL, I think for partners, if you didn't sign up for it and you want to, I think they're extending it like one day. But I'm going to do a training in December of like how to set it up. Okay. I'm always happy to answer questions in the chat. So I encourage people, this really is kind of like it's a DIY situation. We have the education side. We also offer like done for you services. And so I just encourage people to like try to get in there, try to do the things and then ask questions when you feel stuck. And then we also have like trainings. I'm just, my goal is to provide like whenever people need. So if you say you book a one-on-one call and you're like, hey, I'm just struggling to like, what should I do here? I can give you kind of advice. It's just, we try to like have that line between education and implementation work. So the done with you, done for you stuff. So yes, we're going to have a training on email marketing. And the other thing is I'm always open to like, I always want to hear from people, like shoot me a DM, be like, hey, I would love to have a workshop on this. And if it's not something that I'm knowledgeable in, I bring somebody else in to do it.
Awesome.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you. Anybody else? All right. There's a lot of good stuff happening. We've got so much on deck. I'm going to end the recording. So if you were watching, thank you for watching.